I think a great question that is not, it's not vulnerable, it's not attacking, it's not like intrusive in any way is, what percentage are you at?
Yep.
And if someone's be like, I'm at a 15, they don't really have to go into any more detail about what that actually means, right?
Yeah.
It can just be
an indication, like, how's your day? And then it comes out through you telling the whole day. It's just like your partner just knows.
Yeah, I think that can make a really light way to get an indication of where someone's at and to be able to have communication.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we did a better job yesterday together. But usually that gets us in a fight because we're like, you make the decision. No, you make the decision. And then nobody wants to make then we bring up stuff. It's like, well, I've been gone all weekend. And you're like, well, I had to take care and make decisions all week. Probably nothing happens. And then we get more frustrated. And kids are on devices. When you're saying that, I was like, I want to pertain it to some of the work I do. But like, because as the parents, we're the leaders of the family, right? And a lot of people in the workplace feel the same thing, that they have to always have it together for their people. Can't be up and down in my emotions. And but what I teach leaders is the same thing. Like, your people need to know that it's okay to feel anxious or to feel frustrated or to have a bad day at work, and know that it's okay because you're human. And if the leaders always has it together and never shares their frustrations and is that toxic positivity, which was me for a while, like it allows other people to feel that it's not okay to feel those things. Welcome back to Over Dinner. What started out as conversations regarding parenting, relationships, personal development, and the human experience over dinner turned into our podcast.
Righto.
I know, it did.
I'm just trying to find something different.
I hear you. Well, welcome back.
Do I need to say anything at all?
No, you don't need to say anything. I think it's kind of a natural thing. You're going to say something. It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, like our kids. Yeah. So welcome back. Let's talk about what we made last night for dinner, because we were lazier this week and we didn't record our podcast during the week. Let's change that language, Nikki.
Yes.
Let's debunk that. Debunk. I traveled, as you all know, this week. A lot going on. So when I got back, we just wanted to chill. And so we're ending up recording again on a Sunday. But we talked about last night that we need to record during the week.
We were going to record last night.
Yeah.
Saturday night. So we originally supposed to record Thursday night. We were both exhausted. We pushed that off. Friday was our chill night. And then we're like, we're going to record Saturday night. And we've done that in the past.
Yeah, we have.
But we decided to push that because we had a really hard day with our kids, which is actually what we're going to be talking about today.
Yep.
But we had a really hard day with our kids yesterday. And so we just decided to not record, and we are recording again. Not what we like to use this time really for a lot of different things, but the last couple of weeks it's ended up being this because we have not prioritized the podcasting in the week. And I think that is something to definitely just touch on. Is it's really two things. It's like, it's really easy to fall out of routine. Consistency is so important, staying on top of your goals and to reach out like where you want to go. I think that I also want to share, it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy.
No, I think what we realize is in the week, because we have a flow and a system, most of the times it actually is easier to record because we're just in that. It's like, all right, that night we record, we make dinner, the kids go down, we go upstairs. And then on the weekends, as we'll talk about in this episode, because both kids, there's lots of variables. We didn't get outside as much because of the rain. And then we're just exhausted at the end of the day. It's like, and this is our, like, we know we could stay up later and chill and watch a movie or watch a show, that I think we don't really watch shows or TV on weeknights. So it's like, it's just part of our rhythm and routine, which makes it easier to get it done. And I think and it was a different week because I traveled. So I think that throws things off as well. But yeah, whatever. The key is consistency of getting a podcast out same day every single week, and we'll still be able to do that. So there's some weeks we got to be flexible. Cool. So we have nothing to share with you what we made for dinner because we each made our own thing last night. I made bratwurst and bought some sauerkraut from Whole Foods. Nick made a nice salad with tuna. Yeah. So nothing to share with you this week because we were in it yesterday, and we're like, Nikki's like, I was planning on making a whole dinner, and she's like, you're not feeling it.
You don't have to.
Let's figure it out. And that's part of what we'll talk about today.
And also, I just want to put in this human design aspect.
Oh, okay.
Loves the human design piece.
Do they?
So you as a generator, one of the things that's so important for you to live by your design is to say no.
Yes. And that's the thing I lack the most. One of the skills I do with working that with our therapist right now is how to say no in a lot of things because I'm a people pleaser and it goes against my design and what I'm supposed to do. And I know when I don't want to do things, but I typically push through them. And then that drains me. Um, Part of what yesterday was like we were at a place we didn't say no. Like once we
Well,
realized it
let me
wasn't
get
the
into
spot.
it.
Yeah. So what we want to talk, we were just yesterday was a hard day in general.
And we, like all parents, we have hard days with our kids, exhausting days. But I will say that this was a particularly hard day
Yeah.
for a lot of reasons, which we'll discuss, but it was a particularly hard day for us. And we don't have a ton of them. And I think we do certain things that help support not having those hard
Yeah.
days. And so we learned a lot, right? But this one was a tough one.
It felt everyone was kind of off yesterday and it kind of kept leading. We're trying to do things and figure things out. So that's probably where we're start. Something we've talked about, especially on the weekends. And I think especially when I travel is having plans.
Well, it was something we actually discussed in our piece last week and also on social media was that having a reconnection plan is really important to like re-cement like everything. Okay, we're back into our flow, right?
It was hard because I came back on late Tuesday night and then Wednesday I had my own therapy appointment, so I didn't come home till 7:45. So that was challenging.
It was like 4 days.
It was like 4 days. And then Thursday came, we're both exhausted because you had the kids for 4 days. Then Friday came and we're like, we're gonna chill. And we just, we didn't have that thing, or just like it was a tough week. And so I think that's what led into yesterday being really, really hard. Right. So we didn't put a plan in place, which is something we've talked about. But this were problems we had before. Like if we just came into the weekend trying to wing it, and sometimes that's okay. But most of the times when we come into the weekend trying to wing it, we find ourselves getting frustrated and because like what are we going to do, and then we have to try to figure out what we're going to do, and then we pick something last minute and just haven't put a lot of thought into it.
And every time we do that, we always say we need to plan better.
Yeah,
I think when you're a couple, it's just the two of us. Doing spontaneous things
so
last
much
minute
easier,
is no big deal, right? You don't have to deal with anybody else's personality traits besides like yourself. So for majority of our, relationship before you have children, you can kind of just go like, oh, let's just go to one more bar. Let's go to this restaurant instead. Like, let's add on, people like used to go see like double movies.
Yep.
So you could add another movie, right? There's no repercussions. But planning is a really, really big part. And we've blundered that
a lot of times.
Many times. And we're like, let's just see how it goes. Let's go to do something. And it like 9 times out of 10 bites us in the ass.
Yeah. And our weekend was tough because we typically like to get out before Sydney's nap, but because Jake had a haircut, so she was still home, you were home with her. And now I'm thinking about it because Jake had a challenging day. Like I put him in stress really early in the day. So that makes a lot of sense of why he got kind of off the rest of the day. Because we were trying to wonder yesterday, Jake had a really just off day, and thinking about it, like haircuts are sometimes challenging. Sometimes he does a good job, but he hadn't been in a while. And I mean, at 10 a.m., he's already feeling stress. Like I put him in a situation where it was stress. So I think that might have kickstarted everything.
That's true. And last time we did have a haircut, it was at home.
Yep.
So maybe perhaps he felt more at ease here.
Yep.
But I didn't even think about the haircut.
Yeah, I just thought about that now.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think the big thing for us, let's start with what can we do as a couple, right? And what do we do when those situations happen? Like before that, we used to rile us up. I think we did a better job yesterday together. But usually that gets us in a fight because we're like, you make the decision. No, you make the decision. And then nobody wants to make, then we bring up stuff. It's like, well, I've been gone all week. And then you're like, well, I had to take care and make decisions all week. And we go in this.
Did we do that this year?
No, but I'm saying that's what we typically would have done. Like nobody wants to make a decision. Everyone's tired. And then it leads to us like getting in a tiff, and then probably nothing happens. And then we get more frustrated, and the kids are on devices. Like there's just so much.
Yeah.
So
true.
So where do you want to start? I mean, we kind of started, but what do you think is a good topic to tackle?
I'm wondering if it'd be interesting if we kind of worked out what what we would do next time.
Mm.
So if we were to say, okay, well, daddy's gone for these days, this is what we do next time. Now knowing what, like, we could replay the weekend over.
Yeah.
What would we do differently?
Yeah. It's a good
So
question.
maybe we should start there.
Yeah. I think if we replayed the weekend over,
Starting Friday.
starting
'Cause
Friday.
you picked Jacob.
Yeah, I picked Jacob. I think we would have recorded the podcast on Thursday.
Okay.
First off.
Okay.
I think that would have done so. That would have like not put us in this thing on the weekend, which happened with us and trying to figure this out.
One more thing on our plate.
Having one more thing on our plate that we knew we had to do. So I think we would record it on Thursday. I think Friday probably gone. I probably would have. We should have gone to like maybe gone to dinner with the kids or just got out of the house and done something with the kids since I was home earlier on Friday. I think it would have been easier, like to say, let's go have
What
dinner.
we do is we go to the pool.
Yeah,
It was
the
raining.
pool was raining. Yep. So at least get out of the house with everybody,
Yeah.
like as our reconnection thing. So maybe just gone to have a dinner or something like that. Just get the kids out
Yeah.
and go all together to somewhere to eat. So I probably would have started there, and then obviously, planning what we were gonna do Saturday, knowing Jake had a haircut. Like that was a variable because like they got up. We're starting to move things at 9, but then it's too late to go out and do something because he has it at 10, and then it's too late when I came back because she's got to go down in an hour. So we like, there's nothing we can really do. So maybe plan out, hey, we were going to get up at a certain time and go out and
Or maybe like I take one,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
take the other.
like
or-
maybe when I went, you with Jake, you took Sydney somewhere, just have a
Right.
plan for there. And then we planned out something while she was napping, which got us to go to this place, which is a little museum we went to. But I think also in that moment when we knew it wasn't what we expected,
What?
the museum place we went
So
to.
what he's talking about, it's not an actual museum. It's a they call it Place Street museums. They have them all over the country. It's like a franchise.
Mhm.
And it's like a little indoor playground-esque place, but it's like very Montessori style.
Mhm.
So a lot of wooden toys. It has like little shops.
It's like
a lot of
shops. It's like
make-believe.
ice cream store,
Yeah,
a
coffee
room
shop,
to take care of
yeah,
kids.
a little house so you can like practice like laundry, and
Yeah.
it's really cute. And I think we expected something a little bit different. We had been to another one that had more physicality to it, more tunnels and climbing and big slides and different things. This one was not that, and it was really made for someone Sydney's age.
Yep.
Maybe
lot
to
younger
3. I
kids,
think
yeah.
like 1 to 3 would have been like perfect.
Yep.
But also we have a 4-year-old boy who loves to move, loves to groove, loves to
Physical
run,
things,
wants
yeah.
physical
You
things.
couldn't do that there.
He could not do that, and there was a lot of little kids, so we had to be much more on alert of him being aware of little kids. This is whether he has autism or not, right? Is like just you're a bigger child in a small space with little kids, and it's just you have
Yeah.
to be on alert.
Yeah, so that you're already on alert the whole time. It's not like relaxing.
It's not
to go.
relaxing at all, right?
Compared to some other places we go to, is you can be a little more relaxed. There's
Yeah.
more space.
Yeah.
You're not as worried. You can be more physical. But
And
I think
doing the things that like are good for him.
yeah, and I think the one thing that we realized probably half an hour in that this wasn't the right place, but
We
we
should have left.
should have left. Like because like sunk cost, we've talked about
Remember,
that.
yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
we said it in the
It
money
does
episode.
like, are you gonna feel good? Like we already paid the money. So
I mean, I wanted to leave, like almost like
Yeah.
I'm glad we went because now we'll never go back. I mean, maybe I'll take
you
Sydney
can
to
take
go,
Sydney there, it'd be good for her.
but I just feel like we knew almost immediately, like this was not
Yeah, and we should have honored that and like
gone
gone to the park where we could have gone to the park for a little bit, and we should have done that. So that's something we would change. Anything that, outside of what I said, would you have done differently, versus what I said as far as like how we went into the weekend?
I would agree completely. So I
Yep.
would say like get our work done
Yep.
during the week, which then leaves Sunday available for us to do things around the house plus podcasting.
Yep.
So it takes stress off of us so we can actually replenish,
Mhm.
right? So making sure that's a priority. Then the second thing is the reconnection plan. So going out to dinner as a family, going to, little city center and having the kids run around and do whatever, would be fun, energizing for everybody if we're in a good place that's meant for that.
Yep.
So I think that would have been different and nice. And then waking up in the morning, you taking Jake to his haircut and me doing something with Sydney would have gotten everybody out of the
Yep.
house, and then you could even have met us, and then we
Yep.
could have all gone home.
Yep. And I try to split it up with Jake and take him to Publix afterward and then do some shopping, which I try to like separate
But
the
that
two.
also then lengthened your time out. So
Yep.
then we were still here.
Yep.
So I would have, so I get that, but like I would swipe that. And then go, let's say we still were going to that little museum, I would have stayed for 30 minutes and then left.
Yep.
And then we would have gotten them outside being in nature. It wasn't raining at that point. It was like sprinkling, but they could have like ran around and played a little bit. And then I think where we really hit it was that we went to Whole Foods, and for some reason everyone and their mother was there, and like on a Saturday evening right before dinner time for the kids. And so that was tough.
That was tough.
So like that was not a good call for us to do that. It's these are the kind of things that I think we're like, oh, we can just kind of like, they'll be fine, we can just wing it. And like they're not. I think they're creatures by habit. It's like they know when it's like 11 o'clock getting close to 11:30, they're like, I want to eat.
Yeah.
So there's that. We are, our kids are in a routine, right? They have a structure in their week, and we have been really good about that.
Yeah.
I think that you and I like really would love to be fluid and structured at the same time. Like, okay, like let's go to do this thing. She doesn't have to nap. So we're not parents that are like, that has to be a certain way. And our kids do get used to, like, especially if they're in little daycares or preschools or whatever. So we also don't communicate with them. So we don't say, hey, we're going to make another stop. I think part of the reason why we don't include them in the plans is because our first child is autistic.
Yep.
And so we don't fully know how much he's actually taking in regard.
I tried to ask him, like, what did he want to do?
Yeah. But when he was Sydney's age, we were not doing that.
True.
Like Sydney fully understands that. Not fully, but she gets it, right? So, you know, it's recognizing our limits, and then
it's both limits. It's our limits and their limits.
Right.
Like, was it too much for them? Because that's what I realized too, is like it's also yourself, because what I found is when I pushed myself through and I got frustrated, I can feel it coming out on them. And that's when I was getting upset with myself yesterday. I was quick, short fuse, little things that typically I wouldn't be upset with. I kept getting upset with, but I was keep pushing through. That's something I don't do a good job of, is like stop myself, step back, even communicate. Like, you had to ask me, and I need to be better of when I was getting them. Like, I'm just going to push through this, but then I can feel myself tensing up and having that feeling, but not sharing that with you, because I'm like, I'm fine. I'll push through it. I can handle it. But I need to communicate that better with you so you're aware. And I think once we did communicate, yeah, you know.
Like, you're like Jake. Like, when you're off, it is the most evident thing, because like you are such an even personality, and it's so funny because you are I don't like the word rigid, but you are a person who needs that structure. At the same time, you're like so fluid. Like, you're so go with the flow.
I usually can go with the flow, but I was just I don't know what got me to that point.
It was a lot of overstimulation.
Yeah.
Without any opportunity to just
breathe. Like, him being stressed, like, stresses you out no matter 100%. What. Like, when we're at the haircut, and then we come back here, and then it's just Sydney was napping. We're trying to we
also felt bad. Like, we need to get them out, and he's on his iPad. So then we like feel guilty about that because he's on it too long.
And it's raining, and you're like, what are we gonna do? Right. And then you're like, usually the park's the easy go to, or our backyard's easy go to. We can't go outside. So how do we finish here? We
can go outside.
Yeah, we can.
It's a choice that we're making to not go outside, right? And maybe that's the next thing, is that how can we make our life easier while also trying new things? Yeah. So, for example, like, we don't go outside when it's raining. Like, what if we were to have like a little rain party in the mud? Like, there are things that we also can do that we can stay at the house and make our life easier rather than having to leave.
Yeah.
I struggle with putting together crafts or things that I think they'd be interested in. I really personally struggle with it.
Same.
It's not
a skill set I have.
It's not a skill set that I have. And which is why I'm so grateful that they go to places that have creative outlets and they teach them things and they do that stuff because we're not doing it at home.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about that sometimes, especially like on a rainy day when I could have just like gotten this blue painter's tape and put it on the floor and they could have chased their cars. Like
Yeah.
that's literally all you have to
Yeah.
do.
Well, I think for me too, it's I got to get over this piece is like my clean thing. Like when you say go outside and play in the mud, I'm like the first thing I'm thinking is like, and then
It's a
like,
bitch, yeah.
and then like they're gonna paint and like it's gonna go everywhere. But I need to work on. I my mind goes to those things and the cleanup afterwards and what that's gonna look like
So like
versus
maybe like so this is like another opportunity is then we need to get like a tarp thing that we put
yeah,
on the ground, right? Because there's
it's not that, but it's also something I should work on. Like it's about their enjoyment and them having fun, right? And I need to like cleanup isn't that bad.
no,
It really isn't that bad. So
it's just that it's one more thing.
that sometimes has made me make decisions to not do something or do an activity
Well, like
because I
I've
worry
tried
about
to
that.
make cookies with them before,
Yeah,
and like
it's chaos.
it's chaos.
Yeah.
Like it's not it's not a
Yeah.
movie where
But then
like
we're fortunate we can do that and the cleanup. Okay, cool. Let's clean
I
again.
know, but they don't even give a fuck.
Yeah, but sometimes they do. Maybe
Anyways,
they will more if we do it more.
so that's like I think how I would have redone the weekend,
Yeah.
right? In a picture perfect world is done things a little bit differently. Um, it's hard because it it feels like there's no time to do things individually,
Mm.
do things as a couple. Like, yeah, we watch TV or watch a movie. We are watching things that we enjoyed watching, but like that, I mean, it's very different than us doing this, right? But also we were like, what were we watching? Oh, we were watching the Miley Cyrus thing last night. And I was like, when's the last time we went to go just listen to live music?
Yeah.
When's the last time we did different things besides, I guess, this podcast? And it's hard because there's so many things on the weekend I want to be doing, but to be like doing things in the house, taking care and cleaning up things, or going through a closet,
Yeah.
or maybe it's like me writing or me working on things of aspirations that I have, you going on a hike that you want to go do,
Love
or
to do
the
that.
finances. Like
It's finding the time.
it's really hard
Yeah.
because
But that's the planning. That's
but we don't who sticks to the plan?
yeah. But I think if we typically when we have a plan, we do. Like when we have a plan,
Yeah.
we're pretty good at sticking to the plan. Unless something comes up, but most of the time we're pretty good at, hey, this is what we're doing. You get this hour, like when we've done that before.
I know.
So
And sometimes we're like, why don't we just do this like every week? And we just like don't follow through with
yeah.
this.
So I think we need that's where we've lost this Sunday meeting that we used to have. We talk about like we talked about in the car on the way back from dropping our kids off at your parents' house today. So I think those things have helped us. So we just got to remember that and come back to it. But more on the frustration thing, I think something that we both learned and heard from Brene Brown,
Yeah.
which I thought was really helpful. To maybe a tip that you guys could use is, and this isn't just on a weekend like this. This could be each day, but she would come home or her husband would come home and they kind of tell what percentage are you at, like what do you got, and so like a prime example is like last night when we were both frustrated and I was going to make dinner. It's like if she said I'm at 20 and he's like, oh, dude, I'm at 22. It's like, and then they just scratch making dinner. Like we're ordering out. Like let's not over stimulate ourselves or have more commitments to things to do. Or she would come home sometimes and she's like, man, I'm at a 15. He's like, I got 80, so I can carry us tonight. I'll take on some more things. I'll put the kids down, whatever that looks like. So it's just that initial communication every day during the week because you all going to be in different places during the week is just communicating where you're at so the other partner knows and then you can share and then it's going to be different every time. One person's going to take more sometimes or you both have good energy. You're like, well, that means we can probably go do something or we have the energy to, and just being able to share that.
I think also to that point is you brought up earlier that you just like push through, like you don't want to say anything, you're going to push through. I think a great question that is not, it's not vulnerable, it's not attacking, it's not like intrusive in any way is, what percentage are you at?
Yeah.
And if someone's be like, I'm at a 15, they don't really have to go into any more detail about what that actually means, right?
Yeah.
It can just be an
instead of saying like, how's your
indication.
day? And then it comes out through you telling the whole day. It's just like your partner just knows.
Yeah. I think that can make a really light way to get an indication of where someone's at and to be able to have communication.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think when both people are low energy or low percentages, decision making is really hard. So I think having ways, if we both know we're low, it's going to be simple. We're going to order from this, or it's like we can order from
one
that
thing
place.
that Jarrod, we may have talked about this on another podcast, but like something that we do for like dinners out, right? We do a 5, 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
It's so funny. Like, why don't we choose 4? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just.
So like I'd pick 5 places, what all these different places. Then
Yep.
Jarrod would pick 3.
Then you take those 3, pick 2,
And
and then
then
I pick the final
you
one.
pick the
So
final one.
it gave us a way to figure out what we're gonna eat versus like, I don't know, what do you want? What was the thing you shared with me, which is so smart.
So
There's
did you say
Instagram.
this in your episode?
I don't know, but I was dying. I was like, I can't use it because Nikki knows it's the trick now.
No,
But
but
a guy films himself in the car because him and his wife battle of where they're gonna go eat. And so when he gets in the car, he goes, "Oh my gosh, guess where we're going to eat?" And he has nothing planned. And he wants to see what she says because then that's the place they're going to go. He's like, "Guess where I'm going to take you?" And she goes, says someplace. And he's like, "Yes, that's where we're going. You got it." Because like he had no idea, but that was a way for him to have her make a decision. I thought that was absolutely genius. I thought that was absolutely genius.
I think it's genius.
No, but I think this is like, yeah, we felt it this weekend, but this probably happens during the week for a lot of couples. Like you had a challenging day at work, or just you're tired and get the sleep you wanted, right? And knowing that and communicating that and saying, and then what do we do when those moments happen? Like kind of having like, what are we going to do when we're both low energy? Like what are easy decisions? Like for us, it's probably, we're going to we always have a pizza in the house for the kids. Let's make the kids pizza, and we're going to probably order Chipotle and make it really simple. And that's going to be the way we approach when we're both low energy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What else?
I think something else would be like how to not take this stuff out on your kids.
Yeah, that's tough.
Because it's really easy to, and they're not doing anything wrong.
No.
They're being kids.
Yep.
Right? We are the ones who are supposed to be emotionally regulated.
Yep.
They are learning how to do this. And we are in our late 30s and are still learning how to
do it. Emotionally regulate.
So like we should not have any expectation that they're going to be able to emotionally regulate.
Yeah, and our energies, they're feeding off of
for sure.
For sure.
So I think it's really important. As I'm processing this, I'm like, I was thinking about if I was having, when you're gone and I've reached my max, like the TV goes on.
Yeah.
And I need that. I need that so I can make dinner, so I can take care of the dishwasher, so I can start cleaning up the house, so I can literally have a minute to myself, right?
Yep.
So, what are some ways we just talked about maybe taking a step back and telling one of the partners, like, hey, like I'm at a 0, like I need to go recharge for that.
You could even tell son, I should take advantage of it. Because like for me, it would have gone upstairs and just like meditated for a little bit. I told you. Yeah, and I should have taken advantage of that. I'm
gonna just chill with them.
Yeah. And I probably should have. But it was fun. They ended up like jumping all over me while we were watching a movie. So that was nice. Yeah. But also got hit in the head a few times, which
was not nice.
But like if you know your partner, like allowing also that, but like, hey, why don't you go upstairs for 30 minutes and
like
decompress?
Specifically about the kids. Like how do we not get frustrated with them?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's just like you would say to the partner, even if your kids won't understand, I think it's actually saying like, hey, daddy's low right now on energy, and I'm sorry if I'm a little frustrated. Like I think just saying it to them, you'll naturally feel better.
But that also teaches them
it's okay.
It's okay. I saw this amazing thing on Instagram that was like, here are some of the things that your kids are learning. Here's 11 things that your kids are learning from you. And one of them is about how you manage all different types of situations and like your emotional experience with that, how you handle anger, how you do these different stuff. And I think that previous generations, specifically men, they were not taught like to pair their feelings with their words. Like I feel this way. And so we are actively teaching them like I feel this and to express it.
Yeah.
But we need to be that example.
Sure.
So we need to be.
I think naturally it'll feel good to say that to them as well. I think it will help you, and you like they'll understand at some level. They can feel your energy and understand. So I think for me it's like, hey, daddy's just kind of irritable right now. So little things are bugging him. He's sorry. It's not your fault. But I think just saying that will make me feel better. And then I think, yeah, as you said, it teaches them, hey, you can feel frustrated. You're going to feel angry. You're going to feel irritable. Days are going to be harder than others.
I think so often people feel like they need to be perfect for their children. Like they need to not show emotion. They need to be strong. They need to be this like pillar of strength, So they don't want to tell them that. And there are some things I completely understand that you're not wanting to scare your children or you're not wanting to do certain things. And many things could be adult conversation
Yeah.
only, right? But they know, and
They know.
we need to treat them like
Yeah,
humans,
like
and
they know.
they will grow
Yeah.
into understanding more over time, right? So instead of teaching kids to be perfect, teaching people to be human
Yeah.
is going to be
And
really
not judge
key,
yourself when
because that's going to help you, but it's also going to teach
yeah.
your kids at a young age that feeling these big feelings is really okay and
Yeah.
is valuable for their growth.
Yeah. And I think like as you asked me yesterday, like I think sometimes we because of what you said, we sometimes we judge ourselves like that we're feeling these things. And I'm supposed to be the pillar for the kids. And I, they get time with me, but I'm not feeling good. And we judge ourselves and beat ourselves up. But as we say, not judgment, curiosity. And you asked me like what brought this up for you? And I had a hard time like, what was it? Like
Have you
what
figured it out?
I think the starting the day with that with
Haircut.
Jake at the haircut, I just thought about that now, but I think not being upset, just like understanding, okay, why am I frustrated? It's the output is the people you're gonna around you who are gonna feel that, right? The people you're closest with. That's just the way it is. But what kickstarted that? And don't be upset with yourself that you feel that way. You're a human being, as you said, still trying to learn to emotionally regulate. But don't be mad that you're upset or irritable and you can't give to your kids in that moment what you want to give them. Like you got to understand that, right? So, like, what we would have done something different next time because we're aware of what things probably we could have done better. And just reflecting on it, I'll be like, man, we messed up. We're horrible parents. And it's easy to go there really quickly, but being more curious about it, I think. And when you were saying that, I was like, I want to pertain it to some of the work I do, but like, because as the parents, we're the leaders of the family, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of people in the workplace feel the same thing that they have to always have it together for their people. I can't be up and down in my emotions. And, but what I teach leaders is the same thing. Like your people need to know that it's okay to feel anxious or to feel frustrated or to have a bad day at work and know that it's okay because you're human. And if the leaders always has it together and never shares their frustrations and is that toxic positivity, which was me for a while, like it allows other people to feel that it's not okay to feel those things and have days like that when we're all going to have days like that. And we don't know why sometimes
Yeah.
certain things are just going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that every single weekend it would be valuable for us to have like time together that is like out of the house?
Like me and you.
Yeah.
I don't know if it needs to be us out of the house. I think like Friday night we had dinner outside and that's like our time to like have together. So I think it will be great, nice, but I don't think it needs to be that. I just think it needs to be time where we get to like sit and have a conversation, right? Or it's like, hey, let's just be close to each other, right? But I don't think it necessarily has to be out of the house.
Do you think that having set individual time weekend
I
every
think
week?
yeah, that is important. I think that's something we need to, even if it's an hour, you just get whatever you want to do during that hour. We do that sometimes, but I think it is important because our jobs are different, but still like even in both of our jobs, like I probably get more time to be in my office, but it's work and you're working all the time, whether that's with kids or helping with a podcast or doing this writing and all those things that it's just good to know and to know that you get that time and you know the kids are taken care of because we trust our partner and that you can just literally just like not have to think about the kids for an hour, hour and a half because you know things are taken care of. So I do think it is crucial. I think it really is. Like we talk about it a lot. Like it starts with us as individuals and then it starts with us together as a relationship, but our relationship is better when we each are better individuals. So if we're following that, then I do think it's crucial to have time for yourself at some point where it's just because even when during the week and Jake's not here and Sydney's napping, it's like it's still different because you're still
On.
on. You're still on no matter what, right? But if like no matter if Sydney is napping, but Jared's got it, I'm not on.
Right.
I'm completely off the clock. And that's a different feeling. And that's where you can just like whatever you want to do that makes you feel good, and not have to worry about this thing, not have to monitor close to you and still hearing the sounds and like no matter what, it's still influencing you and the way you're feeling and all those things. So yeah, I think it's crucial individual time, couple time, intentional time with the kids as really and we've talked about this too, like something I think we should do a better job with is like get our own one-on-one time with each kid, like, and plan that out. Like, I think that's important for our individual relationship with them. We can enjoy them, right? Separately in our own unique ways. So I think all of that is important.
Love it.
Yeah, I think being intentional with it and don't just try to wing it. And some people may be better at that than us. But we know when we have a plan and we feel, because that's another thing that's not on your mental load. Like trying to figure something out. It's just like,
well, it is, but it's not in the last minute where there's pressure.
Yeah, but if it's planned, you're like, I don't have to think about
Right,
that. This is
right.
what we're doing.
Right.
I know
Right,
that. So I don't have to think about what we're doing and is everyone good and who's making the decision and what are we going to do? Like going back to a lot of the episodes, the birthday episode and all these other things all came down to not having a plan and expectations that were there that didn't meet that expectation.
Yeah.
So I think that's really, really important.
Cool.
Sweet. This is good. I like to talk about the stuff that we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let us know how you guys handle frustration or when your energy's low or you and your partner's is,
or just like spontaneous planning. I mean,
yeah, how does that work for you? Like, because I think there is room for spontaneity, but
sure.
as we've said before, that it's planned spontaneity. Like, we're not going to plan anything on that day. Let's just see what happens. That's if you know that's going to happen versus an expectation that we should do something, is really, really important. Cool. So if you're new,
saying cool.
We keep saying cool because it is cool. If you're new, welcome. Please subscribe, like, follow, comment. If you're keep watching but haven't done any of those things, we'd love for you to do that as well. Again, we're really enjoying this. We're having fun, and hopefully you're getting value out of these. Again, it's just we're dealing with stuff and we're putting on the mics and we're talking about it and just trying to share our perspective, what we learned, and show that it's always new things that we're navigating and challenges. And no one ever has it right. So hopefully we're just letting you know that this is what life's about. The human experience. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you. We tried something new, a different angle today. Try to get a little bit closer. Let us know your thoughts. Try to see if we can get a better we said the video call, but starting next week, maybe some higher quality video because we got
Amazon
Prime Day. Got some new lights coming in. So we're kind of excited about that. Something else. Lights. We're going to see if we can get this better. So we're working on it. Appreciate you guys.
Bye.
Bye.